Hi guys, welcome to my channel. In today's lesson, we'll be learning to diffuse verbal criticism. Yes, we all get criticized, and many times we worsen the situation by not responding appropriately. But before we go on, have you subscribed to my channel? Okay, do so quickly, do so quickly, do so quickly. Yay! I guess you have now. All right, so let's get right into it. At the end of this lesson, you're expected to be able to respond non defensively to verbal criticism, notwithstanding the situation. Yes, that's possible. So we get criticized all the time. Uh, Perhaps you get criticized by your spouse for forgetting your wedding anniversary. You get criticized at work for not performing your task as expected, or you wrote, did, or said something and it was misinterpreted or taken out of context, and you're criticized. It may even be that you said, wrote, or did something you shouldn't have, and you are criticized. So, how do you respond to criticism? How do you respond non defensively? Yeah, so how do you handle criticism? Do you withdraw? So, do you go, ugh, I'm not even going to attend to all that. I'm not going to pay attention to them. I'm not going to listen. I'm not going to respond at all. They should just keep talking. It's their business. And you just go quiet. Perhaps you don't even talk to them again. Maybe you still talk to them, but it just reduces. Or you're fine, you're cool with them, but you don't respond. Or do you try to rationalize the criticism? Do you try to rationalize the situation? Do you perhaps tell your spouse, "Oh, I was busy at work. Don't you know that Mondays are busy for me? How do you expect me to remember the wedding anniversary? Perhaps I would have remembered later in the evening if you didn't bring it up. Oh, come on, you should reason with me." Or do you counterattack? So your colleague at work says, "Oh, you shouldn't have said that. That's so rude of you." And you go, "Oh, but 2.5 years ago, you said this kind of thing and nobody attacked you. Why are you now?" Or do you respond non-defensively? So what happens when you withdraw? Let's take a look at all four ways that people usually respond to verbal criticism. For those who withdraw, what happens when you withdraw? You leave the matter unresolved. Yes, you may say, "Yeah, I'm just trying to be the mature one. Oh, I'm just trying to be the bigger person. Oh, I'm just trying to be a peacemaker." But you leave the matter unresolved. Then you may feel a loss of self esteem for not defending yourself. So, has it ever happened that you got into a quarrel or someone criticized you and you were quiet? Maybe it happened at noon. Then, just at bedtime, things start flowing through your mind. "Oh, I should have said this. I should have said that. I could have responded that way. Oh, I probably shouldn't have been quiet." Does that happen to you? Yeah. That's what happens when you withdraw. So the matter goes unresolved. It's still there. You're still being criticized. Your words are still taken out of context. You're still being misinterpreted. So it doesn't solve anything really. What about when you rationalize? Oh, yes, you sound defensive. So when you tell your spouse, "I was busy at work, you should have not," they're wondering, why are you being defensive? You forgot our wedding anniversary. Just accept it and apologize. Then you aggravate the situation. So they're telling you that this message you wrote is rude. There are other ways to have expressed this. And you go, oh, but that's how I felt at the moment. I had to pour out my mind. I can't hide my emotions. And they're telling you, no, it is wrong. And so you're talking, they're talking, your voices go louder, and they take offense at even more things, and you was in the situation. What happens when you counterattack? Oh, you escalate the conflict. Of course. You end up avoiding real issues. So you're not telling them what they did 2.5 years ago, telling them what they did 2.5 weeks ago, telling them how they do the same thing all the time. How, oh, you're not the only one who does that. And they're telling you, oh, that's not the point right now. This is what we're addressing. And you go on and on and on. So are you sure you want to withdraw? Do you think it's wise to rationalize? Would you want to counterattack? After what you just heard, I don't think so. So, what happens when you respond non defensively? This helps you listen calmly and non judgmentally. What else? It enables you to work with the other party to resolve the situation. And it ends up being productive and rewarding. So you're calm, you don't judge. Listening calmly helps you understand their pain. You know what exactly the problem is. Look, it's when you listen calmly that you realize that it's not just about the wedding anniversary, it's the fact that you don't remember things that matter to your spouse. Yeah, they probably had not said anything all the while, and the wedding anniversary was just a blow for them. That just pushed them to the wall, and they had to let it all out. But the last time they asked you to buy bread when returning home, you forgot. Your daughter's parents teachers association meeting, you forgot. You said you were going to give your son a gift for performing excellently at the competition. You forgot. So when you listen calmly, you know what the real problem is. Don't be so quick to defend the wedding anniversary you forgot. And you also listen non-judgmentally. That's what happens when you respond non-defensively. Then you're able to work with them to resolve the situation. Okay, how can I not forget next time? What can I do to make this person know that I am particular about them, that I care about them? Or what can I do to ensure that these people don't feel offended by what I say? What can I do to ensure that I write messages in better ways? So you work with the other party to resolve the situation. So for your spouse, you probably want to set reminders. You probably want to create a work-life balance so your family doesn't lag. For your colleague at work, you probably want to reread your messages before sending. You probably don't want to write messages when you're angry. And it's so how do you respond non-defensively to verbal criticism? You listen, you acknowledge, you ask questions, you paraphrase, and you agree with the truth. Lapper, if you will. Let's discuss these 5 steps. Someone says you have 2 ears and a mouth, so you listen twice than you speak. I take that again. We have 2 ears and a mouth, so we listen twice than we speak. So you should listen. Listen more than you talk, at least in the beginning. So they're saying, oh, you did this, you did that, you never remember anything, you don't do your work well. That's not the time to say, oh, but I did it all 2 weeks ago. Oh, but I didn't do that the other time. No, listen, don't interrupt them, and don't listen just so that you know when they're done and you want to speak. Listen, genuinely listen, actively listen. Then acknowledge. Acknowledge is not the same as accept or agree. Acknowledge is also, for instance, they say you never remember anything important to me. Your spouse says, oh, you never remember anything that is important to me. And that was how that was how you forgot my birthday 2 years ago. You forgot it last year. You've forgotten our wedding anniversary again this year. Acknowledge. So you see, the thing about listening is you know what the real problem is. Sometimes people aren't just complaining about what you just did. It's a build up. So you know what the real challenge is. Then you acknowledge. Oh, I know that you must have been hurt, that I forget things a lot. Oh, I know that I've been too busy for this family lately. Acknowledge. As I said, you're acknowledging, not necessarily accepting. So if they say something like, oh, you're probably seeing someone else, that's why you don't remember anything. Well, you're not accepting that if it's not true. You're already acknowledging the facts, which is you've been too busy for the family. Then ask questions because you want to be clear on things. From listening, already you've got some information. Then you want to ask questions. Were you offended that I didn't attend our daughter's PTA meeting? Or you want to ask your colleague, for how long have you felt this way about how I respond? Do I just sound rude while writing? Do I also sound rude when I talk to you? Ask questions. Because sometimes when people are angry, they can be so vague. They tend to generalize a lot. So you want to take the facts out of, you want to sieve the facts from the sentiment, or sieve out the sentiment and retain the facts. So ask questions. Then you also want to paraphrase. So they have told you that they feel neglected, they feel uncared for. So you want to paraphrase. You want to show them that you understand what they have said, but not by just putting back their words to them. You want to put it in your own words. Like, so for the past 2 years, you haven't felt loved as you would expect, right? And then, oh, yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Now you're getting it. Oh, yeah, now you're getting it. Then you want to agree with the truth. Emphasis on the truth. So remember, you had acknowledged already. Now you want to agree that, yes, I have been too busy for this family. You want to tell your colleague or your boss at work, yes, I have been hasty in responding to emails. I've been hasty at talking back to my colleagues. You want to agree with the truth. oh, then of course you want to apologize. And it doesn't end at apologizing. You also want to do better. Absolutely, you want to do better. If you follow these steps to responding to criticism, trust me, you have better relationships, and we will have collectively a healthier society. So let me know what you think about this lesson in the comment section. And beyond that, I guess you have subscribed already. If you haven't, please do. Don't just subscribe, turn on notifications for posts so you can always know when excellent videos like this drop. And like, like, like the video, because I'm sure you actually like it. So show that you like it. Hit the like button. And think about it. I respond to criticism non-defensively. You diffuse verbal criticism intelligently. That other person too does. We'll have a sane society. And for us to have a sane society, it means a number of people need to understand this. For people to understand, it means you have to share. So you never know. The person that you share with today may be the person you criticize tomorrow. And you want them to respond non-defensively. So share. You never know the ripple effect of sharing. You share with 5 people, each shares with another 10, and it keeps going on. Right? Watch this space for more videos. Cheers.